pick up on our weekly update where we left off before. Sorry, I ran a little over my allotted time with the previous video. Is this final scenario. I think what's important to note here is that what they're really asking you to do is, in this scenario, is what you're really trying to do is gain a grasp on an idea or a concept that you don't really know anything about. For this reason, a reference source is really the best place you can go to find this. That might even be Wikipedia, to just go and look up a word or look up a scholar to see if they have an entry on that person. Can be a great way to find some quick and dirty information. There are also other academic reference sources that you could use, such as Credo, which is a database in the library that can provide reference resources a bit more credible than Wikipedia, and also beneficial in that they're written for other scholars. Even things like dictionary.com, or if you end up using Google, using a search technique that limits your searches to .edu sites will ensure that the overview material you get is being housed on a school website, and so it's likely to include the information that you're looking for. So, hopefully through the understanding sources assignment, through the scavenger hunt, and through reading about materials this week, you have a better understanding of the different types of sources that you might encounter in the research process, a little bit about how those sources are useful in the research process and how you could employ them in the research process, as well as how you can find those sources. Again, I'll make another plug. If you didn't carefully watch the videos or read over the websites, please do that. This is a really important week of the course. If you do not have this foundation under you, then everything else will be difficult going forward. So speaking of going forward, just a quick look ahead for the upcoming week. Now that we know what different kinds of sources are and how to find them, the next step is thinking a little bit more carefully about how we evaluate those sources. So you will have a group discussion this week. You'll have several, it's not a heavy reading week. So it's important because you do have a number of assignments. So what the time you're saving in reading or watching PowerPoints is time that you can be spent applying to the assignments that you have to do this week. So the evaluating web sources is your group discussion. Make sure you look at who the leaders are. Leaders post by Thursday, respondents by Friday. This group discussion basically asks you to use the acronym CRAP, which you'll read a little bit about, as a tool for discerning the quality of information that you're getting from particular web resources. And then you're asked to take a little bit closer look at this idea of relevance as a key attribute of evaluating scholarly sources that you might use. This assignment likely will take you about an hour. It's due on Sunday at midnight. In addition, you have another installment of your literature review due this week. You had your topics due last week. I'm still working on getting you feedback, but that should be up no later than Thursday. So do take a look at I'm doing replies in the discussion board. And I think it's also useful to read what other people have written about as a way of building some ideas about the different kinds of things that could fit under this broad umbrella of fake news. Your next literature review assignment, which will be due on Sunday, asks you to start the investigation process and the research process by looking at reference in popular press sources. So just as we discussed how these can be a really excellent place to start the research process, well, that's where we're going to start this week. So you're going to find some reference resources through Credo database in the library. You're going to find some popular press sources, probably through Google. You're going to read these and write about them. And then you're going to cultivate a list of keywords that could be useful in thinking about your topic and finding resources, and starting to put those into some kind of a visual order through the use of a concept map. This is quite a labor-intensive assignment. It's likely to take you between 2 and 3 hours, so make sure that you are preparing for this.